Hello everyone. Today we have with us Brigadier Vinod Datta, former Secretary DCMG. We are going to talk about the mission Divyastra and India's position in the global nuclear arms race. So, Brigadier Datta, my first question to you would be, what is mission Divyastra? Like, what are the strategic implications of mission Divyastra?
Good evening and Jai Hind to everyone. Well, India, as we all know, is one of the largest, importers of the weapons, and we are the fourth largest army. And besides being a regional power, we are also looking at the world spectrum, to have a footprint as superpower in the years to come. Now, Project Divyastra is basically about the MIRV project, which is there. And in this, basically, Agni 5 is the missile which has been, touched upon, or it has been addressed. It was under testing on various test beds, and now it has been successfully, test fired, and it has given both India reach, which is deep and quite hard as far as intercontinental targets are concerned or missions are concerned.
Given the report increase in China's nuclear arsenal and its clandestine nuclear cooperation with Pakistan, so how should India move forward with its nuclear plans?
Well, India is a nuclear power, and our ethos is, or our principles are that we have a very credible deterrence. That is the punchline of our policy. Like we are not going to have a first strike with any country, but yes, if any country tries any misadventure with India, India is going to surely strike back. And we have, say, about 160 to 165 nuclear weapons in our inventory, and which is quite a sizable inventory as far as nuclear inventory is concerned. But the challenges are that our adversaries, if we go on the Western front, Pakistan is equally equipped with the same inventory, and China now, which is going to be a superpower soon, because the world order has already been, recast. Now there is a Sino-centric world order and a American-centric world order. Russia, of course, is losing sheen and shine. So we have to be, prepared for, firstly, two-front war. Secondly, we have, two nuclear nations which are our major adversaries. So India has to really develop that kind of punch, and it has been given by DRDO. I mean, hats off to the project director, and that too, she happens to be a lady. And we have shown to the world that yes, if we can produce such kind of weapons, we are there, knocking at your doors positively, and with the delivery that it can deliver multiple warheads, as the situation demands.
Mhm. As you have mentioned that the world is now Sino-centric or US-centric. So in such situation, who are India's friends and enemies? With whom should India collaborate?
Well, India, as we know, India is going westwards, and earlier one of our major allies was USSR, erstwhile USSR, and now, of course, Russia. But since disintegration, and now we are shifting, our focus on the Western allies, that is America, which is playing a very major role. Now, if you read the contours of international geostrategic footprint, you will realize that even America can't take on China the way China is moving surely and certainly to become a superpower. So now, it's a matter of alliances and, collaborations where you can tackle this formidable enemy, which is China. Even America, why America has joined hands with us is the Quad formation, as you are aware. There are four big democracies which have come together to stop the autocracy of China, because the Chinese imperialism is now taking better part of the international spectrum. So India has already moved westwards. India is having a great say in the Quad, where Japan, Australia, America, and India are very, very formidable powers. And that's a great concern, because China once had said about Quad that it's like a bubble, it will burst any day. But now that bubble is creating a lot of tension as far as China is concerned.
Mhm. So, in all of this, where does India currently stand, especially in the context of global nuclear arms race? How does Mission Divyastra per se contribute to India's strategic autonomy?
Yeah, you see, if you see, India is a country where people are looking at. If you take the case of Russo-Ukraine war, Israel-Hamas war also, because we have conveyed to the world that we are a nation which are non-aligned, which are not echelon to any of the power sectors. But definitely, yes, when it comes to protecting our own interest, India will go out, and India has proved it so many times. Now, the oldest democracy, that is America, is also looking at us. There are other powers who are looking at us because we have a very balanced approach as far as our international. The way we are looking at international politics. So India is now with this kind of inventory, with this kind of if you read today's Times of India, it says the defense production export has gone up all-time high. It is now 21,000 crores, I mean, which is quite substantial. Now we are exporting to almost 24 countries. There are countries who are having very good weapons from India in their inventory. So India with this intercontinental reach, India with the nuclear inventory, India with the precision ammunition, and the kind of army, like Indian army is one of the best armies in the world because we have battle-hardened army. We are fully trained army. We are a professional army. We are a disciplined army. Unlike if you see our adversaries in China, where conscription is there, you see, they may have an edge over technology, but there are three things which are needed. First is men, material, and morale. And India now is excelling in all the three pillars. So we have a very, very strong and a formidable stand as far as, and this project, Divyastra, has given us a real punch. And, China, there were a lot of ripples in China when Agni 5 was tested.
Mhm. Since you have talked about the India's arsenal increase and everything, so Mission Divyastra reportedly incorporates the advanced technologies like MIRV. So how significant is this?
Well, MIRV is very, very important because multiple independently targeted vehicles. Because earlier, you see, now you can deliver multi warheads in the enemy territory or to the targets which have been registered. Now, I mean, what you can do is you can even go in for a hybrid kind of thing where you can have conventional, warheads, you can have nuclear warheads, or you can have various other means of delivery of this weapon system. So that is a great achievement which India has given, because earlier we were only using one type of conventional warheads which were there. Now the land vector, as far as nuclear capability is concerned, I mean, India is quite well entrenched as far as land vector is concerned. If you see our air vector, there are aircrafts which are like Sukhoi is there, Rafale is there, Mirage is there. Mirage is a very, because these French aerial platforms are very, very stable. You see the surgical strike which was done. Mirage 2000 was, selected to carry out the operations. Rafale is again a very, very 4.5 generation. So all these things, even on our sea vector, I mean, we have started like INS. We have a submarine Arihant, which is already commissioned, and like a K series of nuclear missiles are also underway. So we have a very, very a strong position, and we have given a strategic messaging. Though India has never given any impression that we are going to use these arsenals, because these are strategic weapons, unlike our neighbor Pakistan, who have been always telling that we are going to go in for a nuclear strike. It's not a, Diwali crackers that you will be bursting them. They are strategic weapons, and they don't know the consequences. उर्दू में बड़ा अच्छा शेर है, वो कहते हैं कि उन्हें शायद ये नहीं पता कि तारीख से अगर वो खेलेंगे तो राख में मिल जाएंगे. So they don't know that India is so formidable, but yes, we have our own belief system. We have our own international, relations. We have always followed neighborhood first policy. So India, that way, as I told you in the beginning, we have credible deterrence.
So how can India ensure its security while avoiding escalation and maintaining strategic stability in the region? What steps should be taken?
So India has already taken a lot of steps. You see, we have re-engineered our formations. We have, earlier, if you see in the Eastern Theater, before this, 17 Mountain Strike Corps was, commissioned, there were a lot of gaps between the defenses. So that has been, so we have a dedicated strike corps in the Eastern Theater. We already have, strike formations in the Ladakh sector. Now, one formation has been re-engineered. It is already deployed. It has been taken away from the central India. There is one more formation which is being now again re-engineered, or they are trying to raise it, which is based again in central India. So all these formations now, the troop density in on our borders, because in eastern Ladakh we always had our stronghold, and China has never been able to make any dent there. I mean, if you whether you recall Battle of Rizangla, even in 1962, China got a bloody nose. So we have our equipment profile is improving, and even the government is also very, very alive to the problem. So our soldiers, as I told you, there is nothing which can beat Indian Army, because our soldiers are so devoted, dedicated, and professionally trained that they can meet any eventuality. And China is aware of it, because China is not going to get into any kind of kinetic operation. It is going to keep you pinned down and busy.